So, as I promised, here is the company spotlight. This is where I will go through all the events that happened to this company, all the title changes that were on live pay per view, and the current champions going into this year of 2024 where we will actually start the save for real. And I guess there's no better place if we're going through the WWE, there's no better place to start than the Royal Rumble, eh? So we start off the Royal Rumble. The Usos do end up retaining their SmackDown championships. Carmella and Zelina retain their women's tag championships. Reigns doesn't even defend his belt because he doesn't need to. Lesnar, who is the WWE champion, beats Happy Corbin and Riddle to retain. Ronda Rousey wins back-to-back women's Royal Rumbles. And Randy Orton wins his third men's Royal Rumble, becoming the second man behind Stone Cold to win three Rumbles. After this, straight to Elimination Chamber, where Becky Lynch retains against Ronda Rousey. You know, not at Mania though, at here instead. Reigns retains versus Drew. And that was it. There was not a single Elimination Chamber match on the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. God, I love how dumb this game is. Next, we can skip over Fastlane because literally no titles were retained on Fastlane. No titles were even contended for. And let's move over to WrestleMania Night 1, where The Miz beats Ricochet to win the IC title for the 9th time. RK Bro retain their Raw Tag Team titles. Becky Lynch disqualifies herself in the Raw Women's Championship title match and retains against Ronda through DQ fashion. Lashley beats Lesnar and AJ Styles to win the WWE title, and Reigns retains versus Cena in a rematch from SummerSlam 2021. Yeah, Randy Orton does not get his title match in this one. And on night 2, the biggest match of the night, Dexter Lumis defeats Andy Goodrich, also known as Roderick Strong, for the 24/7 title. Happy Corbin defeats Finn Balor to win the US title because we can't have nice things in this world. This was just before he got released as well. RK Bro retain again. You gotta wonder, is Randy Orton pulling double duty? No way. Ronda Rousey ends up beating Lynch, Bliss, and Bayley for the women's title. Well done, Ronda, for winning for one of the Mania matches. Lashley defeats Cody Rhodes to retain the WWE title. And in the main event, Reigns defeats Kevin Owens and Rey Mysterio to retain. Which once again means Randy Orton did not get a title shot because he was too busy playing around in the tag division. Ain't it beautiful? Next up, WrestleMania Backlash. Only 2 real interesting matches happen on this card. Rousey versus Lynch.
I don't have an answer for that.
What? Nobody asked. Anyways, fucking hell. Yeah, Rousey retained versus Lynch and Lashley retained versus AJ. That was really anything that happened there. Hell in a Cell, you'll get the first mention of the SmackDown Women's title as Asuka retains versus Armale Winchester. Lashley then retains again versus Cody Rhodes. And Reigns retains versus Drew, MVP, and Seth Rollins. Going into Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank winner is, take a second to breathe, Becky Lynch. I can't believe it. They're pushing Becky Lynch again. Yep, she wins the Women's Money in the Bank, and Asuka beats Charlotte and Armale in this one in a triple threat to retain the SmackDown Women's title. Ronda retains the Raw Tag Team. Ronda retains the Raw Women's title by beating Queen Zelina. Lesnar wins the Men's Money in the Bank, because of course he does. And Orton finally gets his title shot, which he loses to Lashley in a match featuring Riddle and Logan Paul. Because why not? And then finally, the main event. Roman Reigns' 3-year title reign is ended by old man 49-year-old Rey Mysterio. I'm as mad as you are. On to SummerSlam, where the Dirty Dogs retain the Raw Tag belts. I think RK Bro lost them at some point. Ricochet then wins back the IC title from The Miz, making him a two-time Intercontinental Champion. The Usos beat Rey Mysterio and Seth Rollins to retain the SmackDown tag titles, which means no, there will not be a Universal title match at SummerSlam. Rousey retains versus Lynch. Who could have seen that one coming? Orton finally beats Lashley for the WWE title. Orton finally gets his title win after fucking 3 months after. And you're not gonna fucking believe this. Riddle turned on Randy. Riddle turns on Randy to become the heel, and they start their singles feud. At Extreme Rules, there was only one interesting match. Ronda Rousey beat Persia Pirotta, who got a title shot. That was kind of it. I think at this point, if you're running in like TW wise, I assume Lynch probably still has the Money in the Bank. They just kind of had the match at SummerSlam, because why the fuck not? At the obviously the big show of the year, Crown Jewel, the Usos win back the SmackDown tag team titles from Rollins and Mysterio. Rollins and Mysterio won it literally a week previously on SmackDown. Lynch retains the Rollins title after successfully cashing on a Raw like 2 weeks ago, I think, to the Crown Jewel. And Randy defeated Matt Riddle to retain. Excuse me, not Matt Riddle, just Riddle. Next up, Survivor Series. Cody Rhodes retains the US title, which is the first time we've actually seen the US title since Mania. I don't know when he won it, but he won it. Next up, after that, Orton beats AJ Styles and Braun Breaker to retain the world title, because well done Braun for making it there. Lynch retains versus Rousey, a bit of getting annoyed of watching Lynch versus Rousey at this point, eh? And in the main event, Raw defeats SmackDown in the Survivor Series tag team match. There you go, you love to see it. And finally, the final match, or the final event of the 2023 recap, TLC. In the opener, Drew Gulak wins the 24/7 title from Cameron Grimes. Poor Cameron Grimes. Amale Winchester wins the SmackDown Women's title after defeating Asuka, which obviously would not be a surprise to you if you saw the releases video where Edge got released because he shat talk at Amale Winchester. That's pretty funny. Anyways, and ending the 600-day fucking women's tag team title reign of Queen Zelina and Carmella. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair win the women's tag team titles. It's just, yeah, they win. That's unfortunate. And you're not going to believe this one. Next up, Lynch retains against Bayley and Alexa Bliss. They got no Ronda Rousey on this show, thank fuck. Orton defeats Lashley and Styles to retain. And Rey Mysterio retains versus Roman Reigns. I hope you loved that one, didn't you? Now that we're finally done going through month by month, pay-per-view by pay-per-view, we can go through the current champions going into the series. Who are your current champions? The answer is the WWE champion is Randy Orton, holding it for 121 days, winning it at SummerSlam. He's defended it 8 times now. He's on a hot streak. Next up, your Intercontinental Champion is Ricochet, 2-time champ, 121 days, also won it at SummerSlam, and has only defended it 3 times. Your Raw Tag Team Champions, the Dirty Dogs, won it 133 days ago, and are now 5. They've defended it 5 times now. And the Raw Women's Champion is Becky Lynch. She has held it for 77 days now, after 3 full title defenses. On to the SmackDown side, the SmackDown Tag Team Champions are the Usos, who've held it for 64 days now, defended it 3 times. Your SmackDown Women's Champion is Amale Winchester, also known as Amale if you know her like that. She's held for 15 days, she only just won, obviously. The next one is the weird one, the US title. Shelton Benjamin is a 2-time US champion, won it on a Raw apparently, beat Cody Rhodes on Raw, and has not made a single defense in 21 days. Jesus Christ. Your Universal Champion is Rey Mysterio, 148 days holding the title, 5 defenses. Yeah, he's missed a few defenses because he was too busy defending their tag titles. Now your new women's tag team champions are Rhea and Belair. Held it for 15 days, 0 defenses. But I once again like to shout out Carmella and Zelina, who had 2 defenses across 600 days as champions. That's how much this car company does not care about its women's division. And I guess the final thing before I flick us off, and you'll see me next week, is the match of the year. The WWE match of the year this year was was a triple threat at Hell in a Cell between Becky, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. And yeah, Becky won that one pretty comfortably. I think it was an 88 on the sim. Solid performance from all of them. That is WWE's match of the year. And that will actually do it for me. That's everything that I need to cover on the WWE 2023 recap. There was no funny stables either. Look, it's just the Bloodline and the New Day still around. And that is actually everything that I need to cover here. So be careful. This was the next teaser video. The next teaser will be the AEW company recap. I can't wait to do that one. No, I don't even know what's in it yet. I'm very excited to find out. Then after that, you'll see. See you lot for the next teaser.